welcome to another video. In today's lesson we are going to learn how to make a granny stitch poncho. This will be a series of videos and there are 5 different sizes: toddler, child, small to medium, large and extra large. There will be a free written pattern for this video and I will put the link in the description box so that you can find it on my website. We will be using Red Heart Super Saver yarn in the colour Hot Red. So let's get started on the lesson. If you've watched many of my videos, you may have seen the granny stitch poncho before. This was one of my very first tutorials and it is very old. Actually, it's about 4 years old. So I wanted to revisit the poncho and make a better tutorial for you guys, and explains the sizing a bit better than what I did in the original. So I hope you enjoy the new version of the granny stitch poncho. For our supplies, we are going to need a yarn needle with a large eye, a pair of scissors. These scissors are now available on my website. I will put the link below so you can go and check them out. You're going to need a crochet hook that goes with your yarn. If you're using the worsted weight, I would suggest a 5.5 or an eye size hook. And if you're using 8-ply double knit or sports weight, I would suggest a 4mm or a G size hook. We're also going to need our yarn and the written pattern that is available on my website. I will put the link below in the description box in case you want to go and have a look. It is an easy pattern and it is great if you don't know how to read patterns, because you can follow along with the video as well as with the pattern. So once you have your pattern printed out, what we're going to do is grab our yarn and our crochet hook. And we're going to make a slip knot. There are plenty of different ways to do that, so make yours how you like. And we are going to chain 80. So I'm not going to sit here and count every single chain. So we're going to make a chain and keep going until we have 80 chains. After we have our 80 chains, we're going to join our chain together. And we want to make sure it's not twisted. So I'm just laying it out flat. And then I've, bit close. Then I've put my crochet hook into the first chain and then we're going to join with a slip stitch. And now we're starting the first round of the poncho. We're going to chain 3 and into the same space, or into the same chain stitch, we're going to work 2 double crochets. Chain 1. We're going to skip 3 chains, so 1, 2, 3. Into the 4th chain we're going to work 3 double crochets. You can work into the back bump, you can work into 1 loop. I like to work into 2 loops. I found that it makes it so it doesn't pull up a big hole. So work 3 double crochets into that one. Zoom out slightly, there we go. Chain 1. Skip 3 chains, so 1, 2, 3, into the next one. We're going to work 3 double crochets. We're going to repeat this across until we have 9 shells, and the shell is the group of 3 double crochets and your chain 1. So that's a shell, that group of 3 stitches there. So we're going to continue across, skipping 3 chains and working 3 double crochets and a chain 1 into the next chain. And we want to keep going until we have 9 altogether. So we've got 3, I'll show you one more. Skip 3 chains into the next chain, work 3 double crochets. This first round is always the most fiddly one. It's hard to hang on to your work. So that's perfectly normal if you're finding it a little bit painful to hold on to. So there we go. Keep going until we have 9 groups of these shells and chain 1s. After you have your 9 shells, you're going to skip 3 chains, and into the next chain we're going to work 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3 into the next one. 3 double crochets. Chain 2 this time, not 1. So chain 2. Back into the same stitch, we're going to work 3 double crochets. And this is classed as our first corner. There are 2 altogether. This is the first one. So we've got 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Just zoom out a bit. So that's what it looks like so far. And now we're going to continue on with this pattern down the other side. So we're going to continue on, skipping our 3 stitches and then working our 3 double crochets, but we're going to do chain 1 on this part here. When we come up to the end here, that's when we're going to work our other corner. So I'm sure you can continue on by yourself, but I'll just show you the next little bit. Chain 1, skip 3 stitches, into the next chain, work 3 double crochets and a chain 1, and repeat that across until you have 9, so not included in the corner, 9 of these groups of the shells. When we get our 9 groups of our shells, the last one is going to be another corner, so we're going to work our 3 double crochet, chain 2, back into the same stitch, work your 3 double crochets, chain 1, and now we're going to join, but what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that it's not twisted. So this could have twisted accidentally when you're working your piece, but we're going to make sure it lays flat, and then we're going to join it together. So we're going to go into the top of the chain 3, and we're going to join with a slip stitch. So just making sure again that it's not twisted, because that would really be horrible to get around the other side again and it's all twisted. So you're going to have a point at the top and then a corner at the bottom. So for the next round, what we need to do is slip stitch across into the chain 1 space, so into the top of the next 2 stitches, and the chain 1 space, we're going to slip stitch. And each round from now on is worked exactly the same as this one. So you would join at the end, you'd slip stitch across, chain up 3, into the same chain 1 space, we're going to work 3 double crochets, chain 1, into the next chain 1 space, we're going to work 3 double crochets, chain 1, and we're just going to repeat that all the way around. And you're going to repeat this one until we get to our corner. So I've done my 3 double crochets in my chain 1, and here's the corner here. So this is our chain 2 space, and into that chain 2 space we're going to work another corner. So it's 3 double crochet, chain 2, into the same space. I'm just moving that across. I just grabbed hold of there and moved that across into that space. 3 double crochet, chain 1, and now we're going to work down the straight side, putting 3 double crochet, chain 1 into each chain 1 space. Into the next one, and you're going to work across until we get to the other corner. When we get to the next corner, we will work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, I put moisturiser on my hands before and it's not helping the yarn slide through my hands. Okay, so we've done our corner, so it's 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and then we've got a chain 1 space, chain 1, and now we're up to the beginning again, so we're going to join to the top of the chain 3. And then we're going to repeat exactly what we did on that last round. So slip stitch over to the chain 1 space, chain up 3, 2 double crochets into that same space, into each chain 1 space across it's 3 double crochets, and into each corner it's 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. If you forget, just rewind or go back in the video and it will show you that round again, so it's exactly the same as the one we just did. So you just need to watch that round again if you get stuck. And keep going until you have the length that you need. For this one, I will be doing approximately 12 inches, and that's about 30 centimetres. Like I said though, you can make it shorter or longer, just depending on the amount of rounds that you want to do. So I'll meet up with you when we are at that part. If you want to know how many rounds I've done, stay tuned, and in the next clip I can show you my almost finished poncho and I can tell you how many rounds that I've done. So here is what I've got so far. I've got 19 rounds of the poncho, and this measures from here, from the corner at the front here to the bottom, it measures about 12 inches. But of course you can adjust as many rounds as you like. So now let's start the neck section. So to start our neckline, we're going to grab our yarn. This isn't attached to the project at all, it's attached to the ball. And we can join our yarn into one of the spaces here with the chain 3. There's 3 chains that we skipped in the beginning, or you can join the yarn into where your shell is worked, so it's up to you. We're going to be working 3 stitches into the chain 3, and then we're going to be working 1 stitch into the chain that has the 3 double crochets in it. I'm going to use a single crochet. Like I said, you could use the double crochet as well, or a half double crochet, completely up to you. What we want to do is go into the space. No matter what stitch you're doing, you're going to work 3 of them. Into the space that has the shell going into it, we're going to work 1 stitch. Over here, we're going to work 3. Into the space that has the shell in there, we're going to work 1 stitch. Into the space that has the 1, we're going to work 3. And 3. So repeat this all the way around until we get back to the beginning of the round. When we get around, we're going to work a slip stitch into the first single crochet, or whatever stitch that you did. It'll be the top of that one. And we can work another round if we like. So to do that, you'll do 1 chain. If you're doing half double crochet, do 2. If you're doing double crochet, do 3. We're going to work another round of stitches. And continue around until we get back to the beginning. Once we have made the edging, it's time to make our tie up. So grabbing your yarn, I think this would work better with 2 strands of yarn. I have to go and get another strand of yarn. And this pink is Pretty in Pink. It's that fluoro one. I really like it. So I'm going to put that together. I think that'll look cute. Otherwise, the whole thing's the same colour. Put a bit of a different colour in there for it. What we're going to do is make our chain. Now, depending on what size poncho you're making, it's going to be different for all sizes, but basically we're going to make a chain, and then we're going to see when we put it in through the neck if it's long enough. So keep going. Oh, and I'm still using the same size crochet hook as well than what we did for the poncho. Keep going, and I will meet up with you when I have a bit of a longer chain. So I've made my chain. It's probably 60 centimeters or 24 inches long. It is still attached to the yarn, like the ball of yarn. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread it through the last, well actually it's the first row of shells, and I'm just going in between like the holes that are created with the stitches. So I'm going to do that all the way around. When we get back to the beginning, if it's not going to come out in the same direction, because I want it to be coming out here but it's not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that back out, and I'm going to go back to where the the back corner is. And I'm going to skip that one. And then I'm going to come back down. With a bit of luck, it comes out in the right spot. There we go. That's heaps better. See, and at the back, it doesn't even actually look like you've skipped it. So that's handy. Now, I want this long enough so I can tie it in a bow. So I want it a little bit longer than that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to keep chaining until we get the length that we desire. Once you have the length that you desire, cut off your yarn. Make sure your ends are tight. And you can trim that off so they're both the same length. But if you're going to add pom-poms, I'm going to show you how to do that next. I have my pom-pom made, but I haven't fluffed it out yet. And I've still got the strands they use to tie up the pom-pom. So what I want to do is get the strand that ties up the pom-pom. You could use a crochet hook for this, but I'm going to use a needle. And you're going to stitch it to the bottom of the chain. And then put it right down into the center. And then tie your strands of yarn. Now I don't know which one it is, so I'm going to tie them all. Won't matter because we can chop them off and they will blend into the pom-pom. You can do that as many times as you want. I've done it twice, that should be enough. And now, when you fluff up your pom-pom, it'll all disappear in there. And then, grabbing your scissors, and trim that. I need to trim it a bit more, but what will happen when we fluff it up? So cute. Disappears and it's all into the center. Fluff that out. There we go. I need to do a bit of trimming on mine, but so you're going to make 2 pom-poms and you're going to do that exactly the same. Needs a bit of a trim to both ends of your chain if you're adding your pom-poms on there.
I hope you enjoyed this project. Please share your creations on our Facebook page. We'd love to see the colour combinations that you will use. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy crochet!